Hey yo, it's Ty the Saber, and I'm going to show you how to color in a ref sheet. This is pretty much, drawing 101, so, or maybe 110, I don't know. If you're very, very new to it, you might be tripping over some things, but if you have a basics with like MS Paint, you should be able to keep up. Now, the first thing to do is download a free-to-use base. You could use various terms. I should probably put them on screen. But, you look for a base that fits your character. We'll go over tweaking them a little bit. And this one I just picked up offline because I figured this is a good, basic, simple one. And it has a few things I wanted to go over. Like one thing is that some of them come with a white background, some come with transparencies, some come in different types of formats, like PSDs with Photoshop, but I'm using this Krita, a free program, and I've been using it a lot, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm using a mouse, by the way. I could use my tablet, but it's much harder to record, and I figure this is what everyone has at home, so why not, right? So now, if you don't know, I'm a Saber, so this ref is a little bit different, but we'll have fun with it, And let's begin. Okay, the first thing is I tried choosing a ref that's a little bit low resolution, so we'll go with upscaling it. If you look down here, it's not too bad, it's doable, but let's give us a little bit more working area so we can make it a little bit more details. Some of the text might be a little sharper, so we can always do that simply by image. Let's go with scale image to new size. There's also this resize canvas, which keeps this image and just opens up the area behind it, so to speak, but we kind of want to make it have more detail, so we'll rescale it using this option. Of course, if you're using a different program like Paint.net, Photoshop, they might be using different verbiage, but in this app, it's this. Okay, very simple. Let's double the width and the height, which technically is 4 times the resolution. Yeah. So let's do this, and boom. Okay, now I could use a mouse wheel to scroll in and out, so I'm going to use that a lot. So this is pretty good. Up here you can see how big the paintbrush cursor size is. So if we bring it to, let's say, 5, I could hit B on the keyboard for brush. It's this icon, and we could see that the strokes are about let's go with 7-8 pixels wide. Which is good base. Now, the other problem with this free-to-use base right now is the background is white. We kind of want to change it to transparency. So that is very easily done over here. We'll go to Filter, Colors, and Color to Alpha. So you click on that, and you could already see that it does a checkerbox background, which is great. So we'll hit OK. Now, if the background, sometimes I see them in a little bit of grays and stuff like that. That's for shading purposes. But I think refs come out best as flat colors. So we're going to be doing it that way. And we're doing pretty good right now. Now, if you look over here, we're going to be working with some layers. This I opened up from the internet. So right now it's background. It could also... I technically copy-pasted it, so it says background pasted, but no biggie. We could click on that, and we're going to rename it to lines. Okay, and now that would be our major lines as we see here, the black. And also the copyright that you never really want to touch, because give the people credit, please. And then the next step is adding a new layer, colors. So we just hit the plus sign, we popped it on top, and technically, colors you want to have underneath lines, because when you view layers, you're viewing it like top down. If you think about like a old comic artist drawing in panes on transparency paper, they all kind of layer the same way here. So lines on top, colors on bottom, and we should be good to go to coloring. Okay? Now, some people don't have really colors in mind. With that, you could look online, you could find palette to refer to, different complementary colors and whatnot, maybe from a garden if you want flowers. But I have a existing ref, so I'm going to just, you can't really see it, but I'm going to drag it and drop right in here, and then select Insert as Referenced Image. Boom. The other thing, you could copy it and then go paste as referenced image. And here's my character. We could resize the reference, put it to the side, and we are pretty good. Now, to access referenced images, you would go to this little pin on the sidebar. You could change opacity if you need to, But we're going to use this basically as a color palette that I'm going to pick colors from. Okay? So now we got our colors. Now we're going to jump between a lot of keyboard shortcuts, so bear with me. Okay, the first thing is a magic wand, this continuous selection tool. We could use this so that we're going to be working within our area. Now, as you can see, I clicked it. It selected everything because right now it's working. What was it? We have it on all layers, and I believe, yeah, okay, that's why it kind of snuck out here. So, we can change the fuzziness, and that should do it. Okay. So now it's working as I want to. If you see the selection tool, the dancing ants, whatever you want to call them, you can see I'm going to be working right inside of here. Now the other thing, as you can see, is you probably want to lock the lines layer and make sure you're always working within the color layers, for this step. You could see that we could go to the color selection tool now and select the base black or gray, and then I could jump between that and the brush tool over here by B for brush, and I think it's P for picker. Yep, P for picker, or the ink drop tool, and B for brush for painting. And we could see if it's working pretty good. Oh, and Control Z would undo. We could choose a big brush now and just start painting over here. And you would see the first little problem we're going to run into. The dancing ants are a little bit inward from the surrounding box. So we want to actually reselect it and expand the selection. There's an option right over here, grow shrink. Let's try 3. As you can see, 3 is now kind of starting to go into the black, which is great because it's, we have layers. So let's go back to brush B. And okay, and there you go. Now we got that sharp color we want to do. Now I could do this, but instead, why don't we go edit, fill foreground color, and that would color in all of him, right? Pretty sweet. So let's go and continue it for his head and his tail. So we could do this, and we could do this, but if we hold down Shift, we could just keep on adding to the selection. So let's get his top ear. That's his face, and his tail is now all selected. So we could go back to edit, fill foreground color, and boom. Okay. Pretty simple so far, right? Let's now try to do a little bit of his blue. We could do the picker, select B, and you'll notice that it's not going to work over here because of the selection. But if I go up, yep. So control, let's undo that, control Z, and to select everything or not select it, you know, whatever, to clear your selection, I believe it's control shift A, or you could just go to select and deselect. So now I could use the blue brush anywhere. But we, like I said, we kind of want to just keep it on him. So we'll just say we're working on his main torso right now. Go to brush. And let's go with, I'm holding down the mouse. I'm sweeping in with the mouse cursor. Let's get this tough. And let's go maybe a little bit more in. Okay. Yep. Good. Let's see what else. You don't see his arms. We got a few little things on his legs, so we'll do B for brush. Up here we'll have to reduce the brush stroke size. And let's do, what is it, 3 and 2? Oops, so... Very simple, right? 3 and 2. And yeah, this one doesn't have the toenails or anything. This ref, I think, also doesn't have the tongue, but we'll just make do with that. Now we're going to do Control Shift A to select nuts ring again, and let's just we could freehand in his nose. That's easy enough. Okay, the ear. Let's do the selection trick with the ear so we don't overdo it. And let's see what else. Green eyes. Unselect, do the eye. Up here, you could always click on this icon to reset it to just purely black and white, and we'll swap it. So I got white. Put a little pupil over here, and we're pretty good. Now my selection trick, as you can see, kind of didn't select everything, so we're just going to do the picker tool, brush, and just clean that right up. Right over here, I missed a little spot. Over here, let's go back to the ear. Now we have to shrink the brush size a little bit just to get these little areas. And I believe we are doing pretty good. Okay, now let's do the forward-facing one. Okay, we'll zoom out just a little bit. We'll just go over what we did before. Select his main torso. We're going to hold down Shift, select his arms. Hit P for the color picker. We could select the main torso and then fill with foreground color. Boom. Okay, let's just really quickly do his toes and his face. Boop, boop. Fill foreground, and we are good. Okay, now let's go over the next tool I want to go over. We'll deselect. Over here you can see is a mirror tool, which is great when you have symmetry. So you click on it to turn it on. We'll try to put it right on a symmetric line. It should be right his little nose mouth area. And now we could try making a nice, simple belly circle. Let's bring it into this. And let's go with 25. As you can see, it will be purely symmetric, so it won't. Hopefully, it will look pretty good. Now, you know what? Let's go over another little trick that I know. As you can see, we kind of want to try to get the coloring to match his side profile. Now, to do this, usually I would make a new layer. Let's call it guides. Which would select the ruler. We'll select any sort of color that kind of stands out. Let's go with 4. If you click up here to adjust the cursor size and then just type on your keyboard, you could select an exact size. So we're going to go over here. We have 4. We have green. And now if I drag it and hold down Shift, you can see that it would do a perfectly straight line. So I could do this, and then I would do the same thing down here. Okay, and now I have a guide that I can use. So we're going to go back here and we're going to redo it. This time, let's... Oh, oopsie. I'm on the wrong layer. This always happens, right? So we'll go down to color. I hit undo a few times, and now we'll just kind of clean up a little bit. Oh my. Oops. I kind of accidentally undid a little bit too much. Unlock. Back to 4. Line. Lock the guides. Go back to color. Select the blue. This is a good number. And let's do it again. Oh, ever so gently. And of course, you know, the mouse, right? This does have a little bit of smoothing, but I figured it, you know, it's for another time. Try to make the mouse movements a little bit smoother. And then we could just fill it in like this. Once we get a little bit in, we could raise the brush size. Kind of feeling like want to just kind of smooth this part in a little bit. Oh, not that much. Fun times, right? Oh, why not? Okay. Let's see. The markings on me are on the outside, so you won't really see them. On the paws, legs we need to do. Well, we have symmetry working. Might as well do them, right? I could do guidelines for these, but I'm just going to eye them for right now. Let's see. Nope. Let's do... What is it? 3? Yep. Oh, I need a pull. I don't like that, so undo. Not much into this one either, but whatever. and then 2 down here. Okay. Nose we can freehand. And an ear we can freehand. Oh, looks like the symmetry is not working so well up here, so I'm going to undo it, turn off the symmetry, and then just jump between selecting, painting. So again, it is P for picker, which is the eyedrop, and then B for brush. P for picker on the blue, and then since it's so little that we're doing, we'll just bump. And the mouse jumped a little bit, so we can just put gray right over that, and we are good. Eye colors. Yeah, if you click the color swatches, it will bring up the color chooser. But we are now pretty good. So I'm probably going to fast forward while I just kind of finish up. So don't worry about me. That's fine. Again. Okay, and let's just let's fix up this tail. Now again, I just selected a tail, so I could be, you know, I could do big swooshes with the brush. So I'm going to start by clicking here, coming in right on that bit. Click over here, we'll continue it. I don't have to worry about getting his torso. Let's just kind of bring it in a little bit more with the curl of the husky base, right? And yeah, I think that's really about it. As you can see, pretty simple. The markings are all on the front, so I didn't really do too much on the back. Well, yeah, I think the markings should be here. So let's do quick little markings. That's 3 and 2. The mirror is still on. A little bit bigger. Let's go with 8. Oof. A little bit bigger then. Bear with my mouse movements. I could always clean them up, but this is more for you. Oh, that was Control Z, by the way. I just want to try to get the spacing right. Pretty simple. Good enough. Okay. Now the little cutaway bits we need to fill in. So let's select the 2. You know, magic wand. Select. Let's go up to the color picker and pick something. Usually I try to do some sort of dark meat. You know, because it's cutaway. Let's go with that. Edit fill. And we are pretty good, you know. Now we could stop there, but as you can see, it doesn't have a background. So let's add a new layer. Put it behind colors, all the way to the bottom, and let's just call it background. Now we can select everything. You know, that's Control A, select all. We'll choose a color for the background. Let's try this guy. Edit, fill, and there you go. Now, most people kind of go with that whole weird box thing, so let's do that. That one's easy. We're still on background. We could go to this guy, which is the box, right? Let's see how we want to do it. Let's pick a color for the box, white. As you can see, if I select a number up here, it makes the little box outline. We kind of want to go bigger. Let's see what happens if I do this. That's why. Undo, turn off the reflection, you know, right up here. Now again, with the square tool, we're just gonna select upper right to the bottom left, and that should do this. It just does an outline, as you can see, of this size, which is half of 362, and it did a pretty cool little effect, right? You see this a lot. So, speaking of which, did not even, yeah, whatever. And we are good. Now, the other things you might see is when they do little glowing and stuff like that. We can right-click on here, hit Layer Styles, and you could bring up all these cool features you can do. Oh, wait, nope. Actually, you can't see it. OBS is not showing it. So, yeah, gonna have to probably explain. Yeah, no. Whoops. Oh, man. Yeah. Should have set this up to record a little bit differently. Oh, well. But yeah, I went to layers. Oh, you don't even see the pop-up. Jeez. I right-clicked on colors, layer style. There's drop shadows. Right now I have a little bit of a black drop shadow on him. You know, sometimes they like to do white. Let's do a white drop shadow. You know, and right now we have it on drop shadow lighten. Not that you see it. But anyway, I'm going to turn that off because you can't see what I'm messing in there with. Now the other thing is text, and because we need to put our name in there, we go to the text tool. Now you, with the text tool selected, you just draw a box, and you don't see the pop-up, of course. Let's go with the color picker black, bold. And, yep. I think that's really about it. You know, just 101. You know, have fun. Nope. As you can see, I kind of need to clean up little areas over here. This was our name layer. Just your name. Colors. Forget it. Oh. Need to clean up over here. Now the last thing too is changes. Like let's say you know, I want to do a fangs on him. Let's turn off the background just to keep it clean. And now let's turn off colors. So we just work on the lines. We're going to unlock the line layer. And we're going to try to get an idea on how big of a brush to match the existing brush. That looks about right. Let's go 7.5. So usually I click up here, type it in, 7.5. And I usually put it over here. So I always know. We're going to undo that. Next up is making sure we are working with straight black. And that's it. Then we draw. Now, let's say I want to do fangs, right? So kind of like this. But let's erase this right now, and then we'll just redraw it in later. To erase in this application, you could just hit E, and it would turn whatever brush, whatever tool you're working with as an eraser. You know, you could also click on the button up here. It's a little unique in that method. So we want to try to cut away a little bit on this. Let's turn it off and let's draw in the fang. Oh, let's do it a little closer. Yep, pretty cool, right? And that's it. Almost like it's meant to be there. Let's turn on the symmetry line again. Let's do it the opposite way. Let's draw the fang and then clean up. Okay, so here's a fang. We'll want to turn in the eraser. Of course, we need a shrink. Let's go with 2 for right now. We'll just clean up right over here. It's hard to tell, but you could see some gray pixels kind of hanging out. It's still remnants of the last one. And yeah. So we'll turn off symmetry. Relock lines. Turn on colors. And then we're going to have to just fix up the colors. So let's go with this white as a default. But I like kind of a bone color. But not so much. There you go. Okay, we'll make sure that we're working on the colors layer. Pick a nice thing. And then boom. Looks pretty good, I believe. And then same thing over here. Oh. Just undo that. Redo it. And yeah. Of course, you know, the more detailed of an addition you have to do, the more careful you have to be with it. You should always check with the person who you got the base off of to see if they allow alterations, which most do. Of course, too, you have to make sure that if you're making it for, it's okay to be made for personal use, if it's okay to be made to gift to people, or if it's okay to be made to sell to people. And you could always, you know, message the creator to see what they feel about it. So let's turn back on the background, and yeah, here you go. Very simple, clean ref sheet, you know, and you know, just do your best shot, and then you could always give it to someone to make a professional ref sheet. But this is pretty much 90% there. You could use this to get, you know, participate in raffles, and good luck. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. I am by far not good at this, but at least I could share what I know, my experience, so you guys don't have to fumble around blindly. And yeah, have a great day.